Hey there! It's me, your old pal Obnoxio the Clown. I know it's been a while, but I couldn't help but crawl out of my clown hole once I heard what the Dandy Funhouse had planned for this episode of their show. Not only that, but they also made the incredibly bad decision to ask me, your old pal Obnoxio the Clown, to host. They would have asked the Nebbish, but he doesn't really talk so much. Okay, by now I have to imagine about two of you are somewhat excited, but most of you are really confused. So let me bring you up to speed. I used to be the mascot for Crazy Magazine, and I'm here to tell you the story of this wacky little rag that had a pretty good run back in the 70s and 80s. So without further ado, let's step into the fart house. The fun house? Yeah, that's it.
Where am I?
You just entered the Dandy Funhouse.
Hello, and welcome to the Dandy Flophouse, Funhouse, Fart House, whatever they call it, video show, podcast, and blog. I'm your old long-lost pal, Obnoxio the Clown, and I'm here to tell you the story of an obnoxious humor magazine that existed from 1973 to 1983, which yours truly was honored to be the mascot of for its final few years. But first, let me show you these crazy new t-shirts from the Dandy Funhouse. Did I say it right this time? Hey, now available in the Dandy Fun Shop. It's got a front and a back so you don't get cold. And it comes with 4 holes in it. 1 to crawl your body into, 1 to stick your head out of, and 2 to poke your arms through. Now you can find it at the Dandy Funhouse website at dandyfunhouse.com or go directly to the store at dandyfunshop.com. Now back to this glorious freaking episode. Okay, Crazy Magazine. We were published by Marvel Comics, believe it or not, and we're sort of in the vein of Mad, Cracked, Sick, and National Lampoon. In the beginning, back in 1953, Marvel Comics was actually called Atlas Comics and decided to try their hand at competing with the behemoth of all novelty mags, Mad. So they published 7 issues of a comic book called Crazy, which skewered pop culture and included gags galore. It was a nice trial balloon, but didn't exactly take the world by storm, so they shelved the idea of publishing a satire for the next 20 years until 1973, when it was revived for the purpose of republishing some of Marvel's more wacky bits from their late 60s comic called Not Brand Ek. What kind of a name is Not Brand Ek? For some reason, they decided to give the old Crazy Magazine another shot at the title crack at success and kept things rolling under the guiding hand of the Marvel Man, myth and legend himself, Stan Lee, along with co-editor Marv Wolfman. Lee wanted to go for a straight-up Mad Magazine and Cracked vibe, while Wolfman wanted something more along the lines of National Lampoon. And they came to an agreement somewhere in the middle, and this gave Crazy its own unique flavor, kind of like sardines a la mode. It was decided that Crazy needed a mascot, and so they kicked around ideas until they came up with a small buggy-looking guy in a floppy hat and some sort of black cape-looking trench coat thing, and they called this guy the Nebbish. And later they gave Nebby the more proper name of Irving Nebbish. Now this Nebbish guy, he served as the mascot for Crazy for 7 years and did a fine job. I mean, I eventually stole his job. But no hard feelings, Nebby, you know what I mean? That's showbiz, baby. Now, Wolfman wasn't the only editor Crazy Magazine ever had. A man named Steve Gerber took over editing for issues 11 through 14 with a desire to set the magazine apart from its competition and try to convince the readers that the creators themselves were crazy. Now, Gerber's run as editor came to an abrupt end, however, when he published a very dark feature called And the Birds Hummed Dirges. Now, this featured high schoolers engaged in a suicide pact. I think Gerber went back to, making baby food after that. But he didn't work at Crazy. Now, Crazy did all right for a while, at least good enough to keep getting published. But by 1979, sales were slumping, so they brought on a new editor named Larry Hama, who tried something really obnoxious and created me, Obnoxio the Clown, to be Crazy Magazine's new mascot, starting with issue 63 in June 1980. Larry wanted a mascot that would be more proactive and in your face than the other humor rags, so there I was. They modeled my face after some schmuck named Al Milgrom, and I was mostly drawn by artist Alan Cooperberg. Back then I had hair, today not so much. Too many nair pies to the noggin will do that to you, and let me tell you, we had the best features during my run as mascot. And those days were a blast. Now, some of my personal faves were the kinetic kids, where you'd flip 2 pages back and forth to give the illusion of animation and bring gross and violent pictures to life. Howard the Duck, need I say more? The Nebbish, my old pal, no hard feelings, Nebby. The Obnoxio the Clown fun pages, where I would bring you stupid puzzles and parodies. It's what I do. Pages stuff. Now, this is where they stuck all their random ideas that didn't work anywhere else. Comic book parodies, send-ups of famous comics like Casper the Dead Baby, Richie Rich, and stuff like that. Believe it or else. Yeah, Rapley's Believe It or Not, who knows. The 11th Hour Special, where we would parody song lyrics long before Weird Al stole our idea. Now, my favorite was our send-up of Paul McCartney and the Things. It was called Paul McFartney and the Things, actually. Fantasy versus reality, anti-nuke, gross encounters, and a whole lot more. And those were the days, baby. A couple decades later, we even made it into an episode of The Simpsons. I mean, it was a glancing mention, but, we'll take it. Now, come to think of it, that Krusty the Clown's act seems, awful familiar. Get my lawyer on the phone! I had a great time corrupting the world's youth, but like the bright burning star that I am, I got white hot and burned out fast. That's right. Your old pal Obnoxio, even he couldn't save the publication from the modern distractions this world was offering. Kids just didn't have time for good old-fashioned gross humor anymore, so Crazy closed its covers and printed its final issue in April '83, and I had to go back to twisting balloon animals in the old folks' home. Now, we did have a reunion in 2019 for a one-off issue featuring new material and bringing back some of the best blasts of the past, but that pretty much stuck a fork in us. And now you pretty much know all there is to know about the brief but disgusting run of Crazy Magazine. We had a good one, I suppose. What do you want from me? I come out of retirement to do a guest host spot on this no-name production, and I can't even get a bottle of seltzer water in my trailer! I used to be a star! I used to command million-dollar machinery, and now I can't even get a job as a dishwasher! Sorry. Sometimes I Rambo. You. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. If you found any sort of redeeming value to this production at all, the producers of the Dandy Funhouse would like to encourage you to show your support and help them afford seltzer water for the guest host trailer by visiting the patronage page at the Dandy Funhouse website, dandyfunhouse.com. Supporters gain access to exclusive bonus features not available to the general public. Who knows, I may even come out there and show you a few comics I like. And super supporters get access to the exact same bonus features as the cheapskates. Plus, we're going to mail you something special from right here at the Dandy Fart House Studios if you provide your mailing address. Maybe a nair pie. Ooh, nair pie. Podcast listeners can donate directly from the podcast app of choice if the app supports it. Look for a button with a little $sign on it usually. And 5-star reviews wherever you can leave them will always get our undying gratitude. There! Have I shelled for you leeches enough yet? Give me my seltzer water and my $20. Let me go home. Thanks for hanging out, and come back soon right here to the Dandy Funhouse, where everything is always fun and dandy. Is it just me, or does the Nebbish look strangely like the Hamburglar?